All right, dude. So first things first is no talking until I introduce your name. You got to introduce your name. Those are the rules. You got to follow the rules when you're on the boat. Okay? Now just let the music take you in. Hey, hello, howdy, fuckers. We got 2 for you this week. Get on the boat. Let's set sail, baby. I love that last one. Hello, folks. Hi. Welcome back to another episode of Setting Sail Podcast with me, Stephen Sayler. Today, I have a very special guest. He's a very beautiful man. He's very near and dear to my heart and my butthole. He's a guy that makes people happy. He's a guy that makes people laugh. He's a producer of life, if you will. I haven't introduced you yet. I got to say your name first, man. Eric Ewing, the barkeep here at the Market Lounge, and a really, really, really tremendous friend to me. And I see this dude as a brother. Eric, how the fuck are we doing today?
I'm great. Thank you. That was way, way too nice. I think every time somebody brings me up on a podcast, they're like, "Oh, that guy's fucking awesome. I love him."
It's the truth, though.
It's great. I appreciate that.
I could have gone and been like, "This dude's a piece of shit." That's accurate. He puts on his socks he's got holes in his socks and he enjoys it.
I think I actually have holes in these socks. So, can we not touch on that subject?
Okay. All right.
I have kids, man. I don't buy socks.
Like I said, you're a producer of life.
It's true. It's true. Twice at least documented.
At least that we know of.
Right.
These balls are fruitful.
I don't know about that. It took a lot of tries to get here.
Well, thank you for populating.
Absolutely.
Populating the population.
I think my kids are cool.
They are cool.
But I think every parent thinks that their kids are cool. So
yeah, I think my nephews are cool, and that's only because I get to see them like once a week. I don't have to deal with them.
Right, sugar them up, send them home.
Yeah, exactly.
I was an uncle before a father, so
it's great.
That. Yeah, it's fantastic.
I love being an uncle. I would enjoy being a dad, in theory.
Right.
But the kid would probably go into a box after about 2 days.
Dude, parenting is a crazy thing because you're never ready, no matter what. It's just you're never ready, and you wing it as you go. It gets easier with the second one because you're like, hey, don't do that. I fucked that one up, and then you just kind of learn as you go, man. Nobody's ever prepared. You can't read any books. There's just nothing you can do.
Well, every kid's different too.
Oh man, thank you for saying that because I love when people a parent is like, hey man, your kid's not doing this, so you should try this. I'm like, that's cool. You don't know my son at all.
Also, we tried it 3 times. Dickhead, get out of my life.
Yeah, exactly. And man, my son is just strong-willed. Just strong-willed. Love him.
Well, he's got it in his blood.
Oh man, yeah. That doesn't come from me.
I know exactly where it comes from. His uncle was very strong-willed.
Oh, dude. And sometimes I see my kids and they do something, and I'm like, oh man, there's your uncle. I can see him coming through.
Isn't that crazy?
Especially with the oldest. He's born in the same month, and it's like a little carbon copy of Dan, with a little bit of me mixed in.
He even looks like Daniel.
It's the hair.
The hair.
That MGK dirty curly mop that he's got. It's good. I took a paternity test. He is mine.
He is yours.
Yeah.
Because that would be weird if he wasn't.
Yeah. Oh, definitely, 100%. Considering we're married and everything. But whatever.
What are your kids?
What are they?
What are they ethnicity? Wise?
White, 100% white.
Okay, but what kind of white?
Nazi and Irish.
Nazi and Irish.
Yeah. No, I honestly, we're Irish, Scottish, and German. Megan's got whatever. We have actually at our house that we haven't taken yet, but we have the 23andMe shit that I got her for Christmas.
Aren't they Hungarian? I
think so. I mean, I don't know, thick dark hair.
Thick dark hair. Some sort of European shit.
Yeah, some sort of European, Serbian, whatever. I mean, I guess I don't know what we are. Let me put that. Yeah,
okay.
We're going to go back in reverse and say I have no clue.
We're just the mutt in the alley.
Yeah,
that's what we
100%. We are the the bucket of liquor at the end of the night.
At the end of the night,
everything's
poured in there.
And it's a shame to even look at. Yeah.
Smell it.
I've spilled one of those on me when I was working at the apple orchard once, and I got pulled over on the way home, and the cop was like, "You smell like a brewery." I was like, "Man, you're never gonna believe this story," but
The
and then
bucket.
I pulled out all my work clothes from like a bag, and I was like, "You want to smell this?" He's like, "Nope, you're good. Go home, bro. It's like 3:00 in the morning."
Jesus Christ.
But cops around here suck.
They really do. Eric, what are your thoughts? You're one of your favorite bands, Blink-182,
Yeah.
if not your favorite band of all time.
Definitely my favorite band of all time.
They've got some. They're in a tunnel right now, and there is maybe a little light, or maybe not a little light. Mark Hoppus has been diagnosed with a stage 4 lymphoma.
Yeah. It's heartbreaking for me. I'm really lucky though. I got to meet him in 2019 before the pandemic and everything. So
Yeah,
like,
you said he was a dick though.
Oh man, I love him. I love his style and everything like that. But I mean, I also was the last one, and I was in the middle of the tour. So like, I'm sure he was tired, and especially obviously now. We can see that he was dealing with stuff. I'm sure he was
probably back then too, for sure.
tired and not knowing why and going through a bunch of stuff. So yeah, he was a little bit of a
They said
dick.
that it's in 4 parts of his body. The cancer's in 4 different parts of his body. So that doesn't sound good.
No, and it's really sad for me because you bring Skiba in and you just kind of iron that out with your fans, and then now you got this, and it's pretty much done. You know what I mean? No Mark Hoppus, no Blink-182.
Yeah, unless you're Travis Barker and you got a Kardashian on your arm.
Man, good for him.
Exactly.
Good for him.
People are like, "Oh, he's such a simp for her." I'm like, dude,
He's happy.
you're jealous.
Yeah, that's all. He's happy. It's just like anybody else that I have in my life, man. As long as you're happy with him, I will try.
Yeah.
Like, I'll give it a shot. Like, man, I'll try. So as long as he's happy and he continues to do what he's doing, then we're good. Because he's been putting out crazy tracks, dude.
And the
Crazy.
stuff he does with all these other young artists, like, the dude is such a staple.
Yeah.
To think that he was the original drummer for the Aquabats.
Yeah, it's crazy to be like, hey, yeah, that's where he came
That
from.
he came from the Blue Guys on Nickelodeon. Like,
Right. And now he's doing all this, and he's got he's got his finger on the pulse of like pop punk right now.
everything,
It's so
dude.
cool.
It's so crazy that he is. How does a drummer? Because usually no one knows the drummer.
He's got his own album. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah,
Like,
he works with so many different people. Machine
Yeah.
Gun Kelly, Kenny Hoopla, fucking, what's the fucking band? It's
The Descendants,
the Descendants,
the Transplants.
the Transplants, the fucking Transplants, dude.
He
Oh.
does. Honestly, I haven't seen him play a style of music where I was like, this isn't what he should be doing. You know what I mean? The guy is really good. But greatest drummer of all time? He's definitely the greatest drummer that in my era.
Oh,
Like
for
that
sure.
I've seen, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I've seen him play a couple times. It's great. Even Megan wasn't a huge, my wife, wasn't a huge, well, they don't.
Shout out Megan.
Yeah, Megan, you're the best. She wasn't really into it, like she didn't get into pop punk until she started seeing me. And then I took her to see Blink with A Day to Remember. And she was like, man, watching Travis Barker do his thing, like live is so different.
Dude,
And,
even the videos after the fucking plane crash when he was drumming with one, he was going full Def Leppard.
yeah, full Def Leppard, which is wild. You know what's crazy about that guy? I forget his name right off the top of my head. But he was a better drummer when he lost an arm, which is crazy.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I don't know.
Yeah, he got better, and I'm like, man, good
Dude,
for
he's
you.
playing the Stephen Hawking of drum sets.
You're right, and I don't know how he did it, but it's great.
Phenomenal.
Side note,
Phenomenal.
but yeah, watching Travis Barker live and do his thing is great. I am sad to see that happening, because I think that'll be the end of it. That'll be the end of my favorite band, and that is so hard. I've already gone through that once. You know what I mean?
With Tom being out, and then you have Skiba coming, and I love Alkaline Trio, but I also love Tom DeLonge.
Yeah, I was I was one of those torn people because I love Angels and Airwaves. I hate to admit it, but I think I actually got into Angels and Airwaves a little bit before I got like balls deep into Blink. Just because I liked the message and there was a little bit more progressive for the time, it was really cool. But when they brought Skiba in, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. I don't know. I love Alkaline Trio, but this is a little different. And then they came out with California. I was like, man, this sounds like Blink-182, which is a little disappointing because I wanted something different You know, I was like, you're a new band. It's the new thing. Make a new sound. Mm-hmm. So they played like super safe and was like, we're just going to be Blink-182.
Blink-182. We're not going to venture off.
Right. So it was great. I mean, I loved it. Skibo was the nicest guy. Was the
I imagine.
coolest guy. Man, it was really cool. Travis was really nice. Man, he loved my famous tattoo, which like made my life. I could die happy. But yeah, they were all really, really cool. I'm glad I got to meet them, before all of this and all this crazy shit.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping he can pull through and we can get a reunion tour of everybody.
Something, yeah. I mean, if he does pull through, Tom DeLonge's got to come back.
Oh, yeah. No, 100%.
Tom DeLonge's got to come back.
If he doesn't, it'll be...
He's got to come back and apologize. Be like, I'm sorry.
In my head.
You went British on that. I love it.
I know. I can't help it. Megan watches a lot of Love Island, and it's just...
too
and
much.
All I hear is...
Too much.
Bruv.
There's too much British going on here.
Right, bruv.
Dude, so speaking of British people, at work yesterday, this British dude came into the shop, and he's talking, and I'm like, I'm behind. I couldn't see him. And he's talking, and I'm just like, I'm loving hearing this dude talk.
Yeah.
And then I like walked out and saw him, and he was like a 450-pound Brit, and I was like, no wonder you're in America, because they sent you over here. They didn't like you.
Yeah,
they said, go to the land of cheeseburgers, you fat fuck.
You're eating too many tea and crumpets. Which, by the way, my little sister dated somebody that lived in the UK, and I got to learn a lot about their culture and shit. Did you know like tea and crumpets isn't a thing over there?
No.
Yeah, it's not a thing.
It's not?
Like, it's a very weird, because like the first time she went over there, I was like, bring me back tea and crumpets, because like it's gonna be funny. Crumpets are fucking like English muffins.
Really?
That's what they are. Yeah, so like it's like tea and English muffins, which is like a weird combination over there.
And their biscuits are actually cookies.
Are cookies.
They're fucking cookies.
It's wrong, but they are delicious.
They look delicious. They look delicious and like a butter cookie.
So like I was like, bring me back tea and crumpets. So she brought me back tea and crumpets, and I was like, okay. And then she's like, oh, well, my boyfriend Alex said that you should probably have tea and biscuits, because that's what we do. And I was like, okay. And I opened up, I was like, tea and cookies?
Tea and cookies.
That's better than tea and English muffins.
It's like dessert during Christmas time.
It's great. And he made me tea while he was here. And man, I don't know what he did to it, but
popped his balls in them.
That's fine.
Stirred it with his cock.
Hey, it's cool. It tasted like Earl Grey.
Earl Grey. That's a little bit of that. Yep.
We're gonna have to cancel this. I gotta go get checked.
Yeah, you might have to. Jeez.
But yeah, no, it was really cool. I got to learn a lot of shit about how things work over there. When I first started working here, I went to the emergency room because I had kidney stones. It was crazy, terrible. But he's asking me, he's like, how does that work? I was like, I went in there, and then, they gave me all my stuff, and then they sent me a bill. And he's like, how much was it? It's like, I don't know, like $4,000. He's like, $4,000. It's like, yeah, man, that's how much it costs to like not die in America. Like, he's like, that's crazy. I was like, do you know how much it costs to take an ambulance ride? About the same thing.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Now, when did you get the
laser,
the sonic thing?
Oh, no. See, I went in the middle of COVID.
Ah.
So my kidney stone was like right on the cusp of needing it, and they're like, well, you think you could pee it out? So they just gave me a bunch of drugs and sent me home, and I had to pee a rock out of my penis.
Yeah, that's disgusting. How was it?
Terrible. I thought I was gonna die. Swear to God, 100% thought I was dying. That's how much pain I was in.
It doesn't. No.
Yeah, I was like, bring me my son. I want to see him before I leave this
I
earth.
pass.
Yeah, I swear to God. Yeah, it was bad. Never again.
No,
never want to do that again.
My father had one growing up that he couldn't pass, and they had to like put a stent in his penis.
Okay, funny story. This was the second time I had kidney stones. The first time.
What do you drink?
They had to do that. I was really young. The first time. I have a very weird diet. I eat a lot of dairy and shit, just because I don't eat a lot of meat. So it's like if you eat too much dairy and not drink enough water, that can happen to you. It's like a calcium
buildup. Yeah.
So as a kid, I didn't fucking know. I was in middle school, and so I had a kidney stone, and I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I can't go to school today. My nutsack hurts. And my mom was like, well, I'm taking you to the doctor. So they took me to the doctor. It was very awkward, as I'm just getting hairs on my, my shit. And they're like, let me reach in there and see what's going on. And it was very awkward. And then they had to put a splint up there. And, not to go into too much detail, but do you know how they take those out?
They yank it.
They just yank it. We're
going to count to 3. 1.
Yeah.
They leave out 2 and 3. They get you off your toes.
I saw God.
Yeah.
I saw God.
I remember being in the waiting room and just hearing my father scream like somebody just yanked something out of his penis.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah.
That is what happened. And I did that. I was probably 13, maybe 13.
God.
So
See, and this goes back to why I don't know if I could be a dad, because if my kid was like, I can't go to school, my balls hurt, and like being like a early pubescent teenager, I would be like, hey, quit beating your pud too much. You got to take it. You got to go gently at first, heavy in the middle, gently at the end. Just rough it out at the end there, just to get it out. You're pounding too hard, dude.
Yeah. You don't need to
go to
the
school.
Strength. Yeah, it's more of a
here's some lotion for next
thing.
time.
Yeah, there you go.
You know,
reduce the friction.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, I told my mom and not my dad, because my dad would have said the same thing. Like, oh, you're just becoming a man. My mom was like, something's wrong. And there was something wrong.
she's like, your dad had balls like that too. We had to take him to the doctor. Now we know.
Funny story, my dad was born with extra testicles. What? Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he didn't know until he was older, you know, and I don't know, he had to be like 50. My dad's 64 now this year. So
an extra text. Do you think it was like maybe his body like ate his twin like in the womb and just like it?
No.
It
He
became
thought
a testicle.
He thought it was cancer. You know, he was like, "Oh no, I feel a lump in my testes. This isn't good." And they're like, "No, it's just a testicle that dropped." You know, because he's getting older, right? You know how like as you get older, your like testosterone starts to like be different and everything like that. Well, his body thought he was going through puberty again, so it just dropped the extra testy. Yeah, wild, dude.
So your dad can literally be like, if he gets hit in the nuts, it's the classic joke. It's like 1, 2, and 3. We're okay.
Good. Yeah. I, for the longest time, I called him E.T. the extra testicle.
E.T. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know. Actually, get it? Because
extraterrestrial.
Yeah. It was funny.
Extra testicle.
And every time I looked at him, be like, ouch. One of those things. Growing up, that is an insight to the Ewing household. It was bad. Like, how do you tell your 14-year-old kid that? And him not rip on you entirely. Like it was a whole 3 months of me just making fun of his extra testicle.
This is why you are literally on every episode. I have never laughed like that. I've never full blown laughed like that with a guest. So a future guest, previous guest, you got fucking work to do.
Yeah, sorry guys. It's just about a testicle. I don't know why it's so funny.
I think it was you were just like, ouch. You did the ET. Ouch.
Oh man, I used to put like flashlights on the end of my finger. Which that part always fucked me up.
Phone home.
Yeah. Which then we started making jokes like, which one of us came from the extra testicle? One of us had to have.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm the middle one, and no offense to my brothers and sisters, but I haven't lived in my parents' house for like 6 years, and every single one of them has. So I'm pretty sure it's me. Which is, I don't know if that's a good thing.
Hey, maybe you got a little bit of the extra juice. Maybe that's why you're such a good guy.
I think it's the chromosomes, the extra chromosomes.
The extra chromosomes. Okay.
Yeah.
Where's Billy Dodaro to make a joke?
Yeah, he's not around yet, surprisingly. But yeah, my life is crazy in the Ewing household. Growing up with that many siblings,
dude,
all the time.
5?
Yeah, I have 4 siblings.
4 siblings.
5 counting
Jesus
me.
Christ. We were gonna
older,
have
2 younger.
We were gonna. I'm the youngest. We had another one for like 3 days, and then he kind of just in the hospital.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, little bro. Didn't know you.
Is that a real thing?
Mm-hmm.
This is very dark, man. I was like going to make a joke about it.
No, please do.
Oh, awesome.
I was,
awesome.
Rest in peace, bro. I didn't know you, and I'm kind of glad that I got the best. I got the best of it. Thank you for not raining on my parade and dying.
So you're the baby in the family?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you. As the middle child, fuck you. Because you got everything that I wanted.
No attention?
Do your parents know your birthday?
My mom forgets my birthday every year.
Really?
Yeah, she'll message me on my birthday and be like, "Hey, mijo, I need you to come over and do this for me." I'm like, "Yeah, no, not gonna happen. It's my birthday, Mom." Oh, I forgot. Like literally, it's been
every time,
every year since since I turned 18.
Well, because that's like the last time she has to care about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it.
Heard that.
And now I have to go like to a fucking restaurant for her birthday.
Oh yeah,
She
100%.
sets it up. I'm
Oh, man.
not like texting her every single day the week leading up to my birthday to be like, hey mom, remember March 22nd. No, she does that to me when it's her birthday. I'm like, you forget mine, why am I gonna remember yours?
Right. I'm bad about birthdays. I really, really am. Like my mom's birthday, which happens to be her birthday and her anniversary. I always forget it. It's in the middle of, I don't even know what day it is. I really don't. It's in the middle of June, July. And like every time it comes around, I'm like, fuck. And like last week, my mom was like, we went out for my anniversary. And I was like, I didn't even tell her happy birthday. I'm a piece of shit. And I was like, Mom, I'm so sorry. I forgot to tell you happy birthday. And she's like, it's okay, Eric. You smoke a lot of pot. And I was like, thanks, Mom. Like, you get me.
See, my mom's birthday's like that too. Like, why did you decide to be born in the months, the two J, like the J months that are right next to each other?
Yeah, that's going to fuck
like
me up.
January, like July and June and July, like I always get it confused.
Yeah.
Like last month, June 18th, I was like cashing my check and I was like, what day is it? And I look at my, well, I got to go text my mom happy birthday.
Oh, shit.
And then I text her happy birthday and she was like, wrong month. And I was like, well, not texting you happy birthday on your actual birthday. You already got one.
Yeah, right. Like you got me.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm alive still, and I don't live in your house. You should be happy.
I'm 2 out of 4 of your children that hasn't been to jail. So
Oh, shit.
maybe next time remember my birthday.
So you were like cream of the crop at that point, right?
I should be cream of the crop now,
Right. Yeah. In theory.
but I'm not.
Mm.
2 of my brothers have been to jail.
Yeah. Well,
One very recently.
right. Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? They can go to jail, but you drop out of college twice, you're fucked. God forbid you drop out of college twice.
You know, Steven, if you would have kept your baseball scholarship.
Baseball scholarship.
Did you really have a baseball scholarship? I guessed. I shot in the dark there. I know you played baseball, but I didn't. I knew you were really good, actually, as a matter of fact.
That was all right.
Okay, don't sell yourself short, number one. Listen, I knew of you in high school. I didn't I wasn't friends. I don't want to say I was friends with you. Like we never hung out or anything, but like I knew people that were on the baseball team. They're like, that fucking Steven Sayl kid, he's so good. Like it'd piss them off. Like I distinctly remember hearing that like multiple times throughout high school. So like, I assumed you were good.
I was. Well, I didn't play my senior year because I had volleyball class, and I decided to play volleyball in Vans, Authentics.
Oh no!
Like the ones I'm wearing right now.
Yeah. Those low cuts where you have no ankle support whatsoever.
No ankle support, and I literally, the people that, like, I jumped up and I came down, and this one girl ended up throwing up just by the sight of my foot turning completely up. Like the sole of my foot was pointed towards God.
Oh yeah. And I mean, as a pitcher, you don't really need your feet.
You don't, but dude, I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't. I was out for like 2 months, like in this fucking boot, and it was also I couldn't play my senior year. But then I just grinded and sent clips to coaches and put like a profile out there.
So you just like basically instead of having a senior year, you were like, I'm gonna just be like, here, this is me. Like I fucked myself up, but
yeah.
And you still got my scholarship doing that?
Still got a scholarship.
That's fucking awesome.
I had multiple scholarships, but the school I ended up choosing, I had a school in Oklahoma, Bacone University.
Mm-hmm.
I had a school in West Virginia, Salem University. And then there was one, I believe, somewhere South Carolina or Florida area.
No shit.
And then the one I actually ended up taking was in Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
Just
to be closer to family, or
well, that's where my summer coach.
Okay.
It was his alma mater.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you had like a
So I was like, I'm gonna go there where my coach went. It's gonna be awesome. I'm following his footsteps. And then I get there, and I go do a workout for him, for the coach, and he's like, what school do you play for? I was like, Portage. He goes, Tim? Timmy's your coach? I was like, yeah. Huh. I coached him for 4 years. I'm like, great. Now I'm getting into the same shit that I did for 4 years and like 3 years in high school. It literally everything was the same. The workouts were all the same. The warm ups were all the same. And it was just like, and then I got myself into trouble, like,
partying.
No, well. Eventually.
No, well.
I got that stagnant time on my hands. I got myself into some trouble. I came home one weekend because my brother was going off the rails.
Right. As they do.
As they do. He was just like no one had heard from him, and he was freaking everybody out. And so I came home and didn't tell my coach, and he was like, "You're on suspension until further notice." So I had to stand there at practice, in full gear, and not even be able to just pick up a baseball. Couldn't pick up a baseball.
What?
Yeah. That was my lesson.
Isn't that counterproductive?
It's like, yeah, do you want me to be better? Or
like you had just, I mean, just taken a year off because of an injury.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were just like, fuck this, I'm not doing this anymore.
Well, then I had like stagnant time on my hands. I started, my grades started to my grades went down, and I just got really high, all the time.
Yeah, yeah, as one does.
As one does. And then then my suspension was lifted, and like it was kind of bad because like people were just like I try to give like tips because I can see like this is why you're not hitting well. This is try this, and they're like, who the fuck are you? Like my teammates are like, who the fuck are you, dude? Shut the fuck up. You're not even allowed to practice. And it was a lot to deal with. I was just like, why am I even here?
Man, that's one thing that I've told even Megan, is especially because now we have kids. Like, growing up for us, it was like, you have to go to college.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do that to get a good job and do all this stuff. And like, man, like when I graduated, my parents like, you're going straight to college. And I went for one semester, and I fucked off because I was like, I'm not going to fucking school to learn all this shit for no reason. And then I dropped out, and I never went back. And I still, like my sister, my oldest sister, has gone to school for forever. She's got like a master's degree and shit, and still struggles to find a good paying job.
Yeah.
And is in all that debt, and it's like, fuck, I don't want to do that. So like I told Megan, I was like, I don't want to push that on them, you know? And I think that's like that story in general. I think that's a lot of it, is that like you feel like you have to.
Yeah.
And it really leads like people down a wrong path. You know what I mean? Like you shouldn't do things because you feel like you have to.
Yeah. And
So
I feel
think
like
that's a similar story for a lot of people.
I feel like college, like I feel like they finally got it. They say like, oh, high school prepares you for college. So then it's when we were in high school, nothing was on the computer.
Oh, hell no.
Everything was paper.
You won't have a calculator with you everywhere you go.
Yeah, you had to turn in a paper essay. You had to print shit out. Like, no, college is everything's on fucking line.
Yeah, everything was online. Like I don't even remember, like there were syllabuses online. You would go online and turn in everything like on this website.
Yeah.
And, like,
it's like, why do we have a teacher? Why is a professor here?
At that point, I could pay half the money and sit at home.
Yeah, and learn this shit on my own.
Thing, which is a very good point. Like, why is it that college is so expensive? Like, why does it cost $50,000 to go to VU for a semester, but $10,000 to go to Ivy Tech?
Yeah.
What's the difference? Are you teaching me different stuff at VU?
No.
It's just a piece of paper.
It's a piece of paper, and it
means nothing.
All this money goes into these universities, and for what?
Yeah.
For the campus, for the athletic programs. Like, why are people paying so much for school when like people can go take online courses?
Yeah, yeah.
Pay a complete fraction of the money and get the same fucking degree.
Yeah. And
it makes no sense.
And not be in crippling debt.
And dude, it's like, why is it so expensive to want to better yourself, to want an education? Like, shouldn't that be like, okay, you want to go work? Go straight from high school to work. If you want to go work construction, you want to go work on the road, work for the county, cool, go do that. But if you want to expand your education,
then there should be courses for that.
There should be courses. There should be an incentive thing.
Right.
You want to be? We're a dumb nation. We're dumb fucks here.
100%.
In the United States, we're fucking idiots. Look at China. Look at Japan. Look at other places around the world. They're so much better.
Yeah, at everything. That even goes back to touching back on all the shit I learned about the UK. The guy, his name is Alex. He was a chef, and he has been like a fancy chef. You know what I mean? Working at resorts and stuff since like he was 15. Because in the UK at like 15, they're like, do you want to do a trade or you want to go to school? He's like, I want to learn to do something. So he learned how to cook. Like they taught him all of that, and then released him into the world at 18. With a whole, 4 years of knowledge.
Yeah.
That's what we should be doing.
Exactly.
Like, I don't need to be learning about U.S. history for the 4th time.
Yeah, and all of it's fucking wrong.
Yeah, we won't get that's a whole nother podcast that we can get on. Yeah, look out for episode 2. We'll be coming. We'll just rant about how terrible America is. But yeah, it's just, I don't know why we're not doing that. You know what I mean? How much, think about that. How much helpful that would have been for you. Like, you were really good at baseball. Imagine at 15 if they were like, okay, we're not going to focus so much on the learning about U.S. history. We're just going to give you strength and conditioning to make you good at your job.
Yeah, look at the Dominican Republic.
That's what they do.
Look at
That sounds terrible, but that's what they do.
It's crazy because they have facilities from the MLB that go down there and set up and are training 12-year-olds until they're 18 so they can get drafted. We know this kid's going to be a fucking phenomenal baseball player. Let's fucking spark him up.
Let's do it right now.
Let's
spend all of his not all of his time, but a lot of his time doing it.
Yeah.
My nephew plays hockey. He's 10. Kid is
good
amazing. I'm not just saying that because he's my nephew. The guy is really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Watching him play against other kids his age is just, you can tell. You can really tell when somebody is naturally good at something. And, for the last, 3-4 years, it was every summer he was doing travel and doing all this. And this year he looked at his dad and was like, I'm not doing it. I want to have a summer where I'm just off. And none of us blamed him for it.
Yeah.
But, man, he puts in all of his time to that, and he's going to play. That's what he wants to do. He wants to be in the NHL.
Yeah.
And, man, he's 10. That's his dream now. He got 8 years to work on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Go for it.
And it can happen.
It absolutely,
It
man.
can happen, dude. There's crazy shit. And like you said, like setting a kid up for what they really want to do.
Right.
Like, I think that conversation should be had early on and often when raising a kid. Again, I'm not a father. I'm not a parent.
Absolutely.
But I think that you should have a conversation and you should be teaching your kids stuff outside of what, they're learning in school and, subject them to other things. Be like, this is film.
Yeah.
These are great films. Let's watch them. And maybe that kid's like, oh, I want to be behind a fucking camera.
Dude, my son loves horror movies.
Loves
horror. We watched it, like the new one, before work the other day. Like, he just wanted to watch it. And it was the new one. I was like, yeah, man, absolutely. Like, you watched the part where the kid get his arm bit off, and he was like, Dad, that's so cool. It's the coolest thing, man. So yeah, like I always try to be like, have that conversation. What do you want to do? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I've got 5 fucking drum sets at my house and guitars, and I have a violin. I've never played the violin before in my life, but if my kids ever like, hey, I want to play the violin, I got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like me growing up, especially in a house with 4 other siblings, I didn't have any of that shit. Like, so it was really cool for me to like give him whatever it is he wants to do. Yeah, he might not be a drummer in 5 years, but he got to try it.
Yeah.
He got to see if he liked it or not.
Yeah.
He drums every day.
Like my dad, we had 4. So like my dad, he had a drum set growing up that kind of didn't care about, and then it just got tossed. So he wanted us to kind of be like versed in other things. So like he got my sister a piano, got my brother a guitar, got my other brother a drum set, got me a guitar, gave them all lessons except for me. And I turned out to be the one that toured the country playing music. How funny is that?
You probably because that chip on your shoulder, man.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't have any lessons. Thank you very much.
No thanks to you, Pop.
I love that movie. Probably my favorite Adam Sandler movie.
That one is up there. That one is so, and not to mention,
which I found out that it was made in 1997. I thought it was earlier than that.
You thought it was in the 80s?
I thought it was like 91, 92.
Overboard, or no, was it Overboard?
I don't know. Me and Jeff looked this up last night.
It was his first movie was like 91, and it was a really shitty comedy about him working on a boat that gets like, he gets thrown over the boat or whatever. It's a bad movie. But then he comes out with fucking Billy Madison. And
we talked about the golden era of Adam Sandler movies, and like where it started and where it ended. Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, and we pretty much decided that after Click, it was like downhill. I think he did like maybe 1 or 2 movies. Are you gonna say Bedtime Stories?
No, that one was god awful.
You thought that was awful?
Bedtime Story was
very
god
underrated
awful.
movie, bro.
The gumballs falling from the sky.
It's great, man. It's a kids movie, definitely.
It is a kid.
It's not an Adam Sandler, My Heine movie, but it's a.
I love Adam Sandler so much. Like even his new stuff that he's put out, like the stuff that he's put out with Netflix, like the week of.
Yeah,
that movie's so good with him and Chris Rock.
What's the Halloween movie that he put out?
Oh, Hubie Halloween.
Listen,
it was everything. It was every Adam Sandler shtick in one fucking movie. It was awesome.
Like if he would have made it in the '90s, it would have been perfect.
His fucking name in the movie was Hubie Shubidoober.
Come on.
It was his fucking
perfect.
thing, dude.
He was like, what if I made a Halloween movie that was just all of my movies in one?
It was so good.
It was great.
Even brought back Homegirl from Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Like, it was amazing.
I kept looking, I was like, oh man, there's every time you watch an Adam Sandler movie, he's like, all right, where's one of his buddies? Like, it's coming up. But yeah, no, I loved that movie.
Dude.
Loved that movie.
As of right now, It's hard to say it's my favorite,
Just
but
give me-
as
give
of
me-
right
give
now,
me
it's
top 3.
top 3.
Yeah, let's just do top 3
Okay.
because picking a favorite Adam Sandler movie is hard.
Wedding Singer.
Yeah, number 1.
Wedding Singer is up there. Sandy Wexler.
What?
Sandy Wexler.
Really?
That fucking movie cracks me up so much.
Huh.
Like he's like they're driving in a car and she's like this is a Yugo. He's like yeah, Yugo is made in France. And she's like no, I think it was made in Yugoslavia. Nah, you go to France. You have a good time. Like it's so stupid.
It's another Adam Sandler stuff.
Yeah, it's his thing. It's so funny. He's like he walks into the house and the dogs are chasing him. He's like, "Get to know the face. I'm the king of Hollywood." And then like he turns around and it's actually his daughters and his wife, but like they're playing characters and they're like they're looking at him, and they go to this fair. Someone doesn't know him and they were like, "I thought you were the king of Hollywood." And he's like, "I never said that." Like it's just like it cracks me so stupid in that movie. It just cracks me up. So. Sandy Wexler, Wedding Singer.
I know this is the hard one. This is the hard one because you've got a lot to pick from.
Unpopular opinion. I'm going to say it's his best performance ever. Reign Over Me.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I think your last 2 were very unpopular opinions.
Very unpopular opinions.
So.
But dude, his performance in that movie is great. Have you seen Uncut Gems?
Yeah. Oh, that movie fucks.
Yeah.
That movie fucks.
Oh yeah.
I don't. It's not an Adam Sandler movie to me. I think comedian Adam Sandler always. You know, for me, it's like The Wedding Singer. I got 2 very unpopular opinions after this as well. 50 First Dates.
Great fucking movie.
Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler together is like, man, it just takes me back. It makes me feel like everything is okay in the world when it's not. We're not going to talk about Blended though. They were like, we're going to try for 3. And it just never works.
Struck out on that one.
It never works. Godfather Part 3, The Hangover Part 3, none
Never
of it
works.
is good. Spider-Man 3, it's all bad. So we never do the triple. But 51st, I just love it. It was in like my family got it. And it was like one of those movies that was like lived in our DVD player for probably a year or 2 straight.
Oh yeah, we grew up
watched it every day.
Yeah, I would fall asleep to that movie all the time.
Yeah, man.
As a kid.
Believe it or not, this is my good eye. It's like it's great, man. It's great. So that's he's got lung problems from smoking too much turtle weed. Kills me. My dad used to tell me that all the time. Like I'd cough and he'd be like, "Got too much problems from smoking turtle weed." I'm like, shut up, because I call Ryan Thompson Turtle. Funny story. Anyway, but then my next one, anger management.
That is a really good one.
Man, it is so underrated. I think it came out after Click, I think, or right before. But it was like right when
I think it was before Click.
Everybody was out on Adam Sandler. Everyone's like, we've seen him do everything now. We're done. But man, it had a lot of great actors in that movie.
Oh, Jack Nicholson. You throw Jack Nicholson into like a bathtub of shit, and it's still gonna be gold.
It's gonna be good. Is it a romantic comedy?
Anger Management.
Yeah. Right on.
Yeah.
It's a weird.
He does a lot of romantic comedies.
Oh yeah, no. I think that's specifically
his
like
thing.
all his great movies are romantic comedies.
Like Just Go With It. I think that's another really good fucking movie too.
That is a really good movie. Yeah. Me and Jeff talked about that last night about how much we loved that movie. Another underrated one.
Nick Swartzen is God.
Seriously, who farted? One of my favorite things in the world.
He's so good.
So good. For a long time when I was younger, everybody told me that I looked like Nick Swartzen because I was fat and didn't have a beard. So I grew to hate him a little bit. But now that I'm older and respect comedy a little bit more, he's hilarious.
I love the shit that Sandler produces too.
Oh man, that guy, he's just fucking funny.
Yeah,
he just really is funny.
Grandma's Boy. Do you know they
he produced Grandma's Boy?
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. Oh,
so fucking Swartzen's big like break into like the movies.
Yeah.
Because he was a comedian at like 18.
Yeah, it was
like,
Grandma's Boy because he was the one guy.
They hired him. They wanted to get an R rating. They wanted to get it to be an R rating.
Yeah.
So they hired Nick Swartzen to punch it up to get the R rating, and they were like, "Oh, you have to have a role now. You're too fucking good."
Yeah, and then he got a show at which we won't talk about the show.
It was okay. It was all right. Not the greatest thing he's ever done.
Not the worst.
Not the worst. I think the worst thing he ever did. Did you see The Wrong Missy?
No.
With David Spade?
Oh no, I checked out a David Spade after fucking Joe Dirt 2, bro. Yeah.
Dude, he's so good now.
Joe Dirt 2.
No, but David Spade is really great.
David Spade's a hilarious person.
He's one of the greatest.
Oh, 100%. I don't hate David Spade.
You're just I'm just done for movies for now.
I'm not gonna watch any movie with David Spade in it after what he did to me in Joe Dirt 2.
You got to watch Father of the Year. He plays like this trailer park dad, and it's so funny.
Nope.
The Wrong Missy though. Nick Swartzen. He went on like this big bender.
Yeah.
And was like drinking for like 3 months straight before shooting the movie.
Okay.
And you can just see how bloated, like his face is bloated, his eyes are sunken in, his nose is all red.
Did he do it for the role, or was it just like
no? He was just like I was on tour, and then I got off tour, and I had nothing to do, so I just went and partied hard, and then I ended up in the hospital. It was like,
oh fuck.
He's like they said I may end up dying. I was like,
oh shit.
Yeah, so you could see it, and then like I've seen him on podcasts after the fact. He looks a lot better. But
yeah.
Like he had done a podcast with Andrew Santino and was talking about. He's like, then he was like, yeah, I did this. I had to do this movie, and he's like, I look like shit in the movie, and then the movie actually came out, and I was like, yeah, you look like shit in the movie.
Yeah, garbage.
You look like trash, dude.
Man, that's I hate to see that. Like, especially now that I'm getting older, approaching 30, I like the Mark Hoppus thing, I see a lot of my idols growing up getting older and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, fuck, look at how rough they look now. I go look in the mirror and I'm like, fuck, I'm like 10 years away from that.
Dude.
Like, I hope, like, in 10 years people see me, they're like, oh, man, look at how rough he looks. Like,
dude, it's like I wake up every morning, I got a new gray hair. Like, I'm like, fuck, it's
I'm
bad now.
I'm going to embrace the salt and pepper. You know what I mean? I'm going to go full Brett Favre.
Push it.
And I'm just going to own it. I went and got my hair cut yesterday, and the dude was shaving my head, which he did a great job. The Region over
I've been there.
And they do a great, well, when was the last time you were there?
I get my face shaved.
Oh, okay.
I do a hot towel straight razor.
Oh.
It's the best. It is the best, dude. I mean, nothing beats having a man just rub your face with oil.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's great.
Cream.
It's
amazing.
Great. It's great. And then that was really gay. Fuck, where was I going? Yeah, he did a great job, but he was just cutting my hair. I looked down and was like, oh shit, I got gray hairs in here. And I was like, oh fuck, man.
Dude,
I talked to the boys in the back, the cooks, and like we were over there. I was over at their house doing something, and we were just talking about how old we were, and they're like, yeah, I just turned 21. I just turned 22. And I was like, oh fuck, guys, like I'm 29, and they literally were like, no. It's like, yeah, they're like, you're fucking old. I was like, thanks,
dude,
bro.
It's weird. It's weird doing it's weird being in comedy because like I started late.
Yeah.
So I started at 26, and like I'm hanging around dudes like Mike Banks and Brandon King and like
that are younger that have still been
they're
doing it
younger
for a while.
And they've been doing it for a long time and they're funny as fuck.
Yeah.
And it's like I look at them and I feel like they're older than me. But they're not. Like, we were having a conversation last night with Mike, and I was like, shut up, Mike. You're fucking 24.
Yeah,
You're not old. Shut up.
A young summer child.
Like, she's like, I feel like an old man. I was like, fuck you. You're not an old man, dude. I am. I have gray hair.
Yeah, I have grays. It hurts when I wake up in the morning. Like, if I hurt myself, it's just semi-permanent now, forever. Like
I can't, dude. I stub my toe. I feel it for 4 weeks.
Yeah, you're done now. That's
done.
It. You got to stretch it.
You got to stretch every fucking day.
Yeah, and
you got to make sure you drink water every day.
I've had to pee for like the last, I don't know, we're so close to the end here. I've had to pee for the last like 15 minutes, and I was like, oh no, am I gonna make it?
We got 3 minutes left.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna hold it out, man. Don't worry. But man, I was like, oh man, my bladder just ain't what it used to be. And
you're
I'm
like,
fuck,
maybe
I'm 30.
Maybe I got another stone.
Oh God, I hope not. Oh God, I'm going to Vegas tomorrow. So that. Oh yeah. I was gonna talk about that. We're going to Vegas tomorrow, which is gonna be really fun. I haven't been ever, so that'll be a really good time.
The Market Lounge, Valpo Comedy Club goes and does Vegas.
Yeah. The Market does Vegas.
The Market does Vegas.
Is what's happening here. Yeah, I haven't been on a plane in a really long time. So that'll be cool. Jeff Webb. Sweetest guy ever. Got his first class tickets because he's just a sweetheart. I've never flown first class, so that's going to be really cool. Oh wait, no, I did once, which is a really cool story. I'll try to wrap it up really quickly.
You were young. You weren't old enough to enjoy it though.
No, I actually was. It
really?
was like, it's actually one of my earliest memories. My dad worked for United Airlines, so we got to fly for free a lot. My dad was an airplane mechanic for a long time. My dad could fix anything. So we always, family vacations, we'd go somewhere cool. So one year we went to Hawaii. Really long flight, man. I remember we got there at 2:00 in the morning. because our flight left at like 3. And then we got to like California and like had to stop in California and then fly over. It was wild.
And then fly over an ocean. Fuck that.
Yeah, for like 6 hours or whatever it is. Yeah, it was terrible. But I ended up sitting. We got 2 first class upgrades. So my mom and I, because I was the youngest on the at the time, I was the youngest. So we got to sit first class. And the gentleman that was sitting in between us worked for NASA, which at the time I was like, that's cool. But my mom asked him very nicely if we could switch seats so that I could be next to her. And so he did. It was really cool. Really nice guy. But I remember he had a laptop. Now, we're talking like 1998. So a laptop was like new technology, man. Like I distinctly remember him having a computer and opening it and me being like, what? Like the internet still made noise at this point. You know what I mean? You had to have a screen name to sign on. So it was like mind blowing. And, I was talking to him a little bit and he's like, oh yeah, I work for NASA. We do like this stuff and that stuff. And it's the craziest thing. The guy looked at me. He's like, do you want to see pictures of Mars? And I was like, yeah. So I got to spend 20 minutes looking at pictures of Mars.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was really cool at 7 years old.
Awesome. Well, we did it, buddy.
Wow, we made it.
We made it.
Beautiful. We're going to have to do a part 2.
We have to. Part 2 will be coming soon. Be on the fucking lookout.
Thank you for enjoying this.
This has been Steven Sayler sitting down with Eric Ewing. This has been Set and Sail. We're out.
Bye.